Hello friends, welcome back to the bench. So, in our last session, we completed the ticket submission, but we didn't know if it works, right? Because our unit tests were not working. So I fixed that. We have 22 tests and 40 assertions. I created a domain directory where I intend to keep the tests for domain objects, and in this case it just tests whether the ticket can be created with this data. There's very little validation in the ticket itself. That's something that we do need to add. But most importantly, I tested whether we can actually submit the ticket, fetch it from the database, and confirm that our ID, ticket ID, has been created correctly. So 3 characters, and 4 characters, and the data that we submitted is returned back. We didn't assert the subject actually, but that's fine. So we know that this works. So let's physically test it and see what it does. So this is the only required fields, but I'm gonna add the description. Hello, I need a repair. And return address none, and let's submit without bench fee and see if it works, because I did not check it with the submission with the payment. Looks like this is our ticket number, our ticket ID, looking good. And obviously we need to style the success page. But now let's go back and let's test with, my form is still filled. Perfect. Now let's pay bench fee. So I should be redirected to the, I went down to success. Okay, so it doesn't work. So let's see why does it not work. Let's clean up over here. Tickets controller. Now, if we have BHR bench fee or BHR shipping fee in the form, let's confirm that we have the name on the form. Actually, we can confirm it over here. That'll be quicker, I guess. And let's check the name of our element. So, this is not the one. Input name BHR bench fee, a value and ID. Okay, it's probably because we don't have a value. Would that be the reason? Let's do this. Let's just dump our request data here. Form data and I. Let's see if this is the issue. Yes, so the bench fee is string, empty string, and shipping. Okay, so our bench fee is empty string, which is the issue. So let's just fix that. So that is checkbox, and our value, our value is empty. So let's do value 1. That will evaluate to integer, and integer will nicely evaluate to Boolean, right? And so now not submit ticket, submit. So let's fill it out again. Doesn't matter. Description not needed, and pay now. submit, and that should redirect us to make payment. Yes. Yeah. Okay. The reason this doesn't work now is because we're still kind of reliant on the Hesk database, right? So here we try to find Hesk ticket to pull the information from the Hesk ticket, your name, your email, and whatever. But now we have an ambiguity, because which ticket are we talking about here? This is the ticket in the new ticketing system, and yeah, and that is an old ticket. You know what? Crazy idea, but let's do it. Actually, not very crazy, but so in our ticketing service we have generate ticket ID, and let's do this for 3. What did we do? We replaced the segments, right? The length of the segments. Why are we doing that? Well, let's fix the tests, because that's going to fail the tests, some at least. Just one test, but that's good enough. So this is going to be 4, and this is going to be 3. That should pass the test. Yeah. And now, from ticketing service, we're gonna have public, and actually this could also be even static, but shall we do it static? Because it's not gonna have any dependencies, it's not gonna reach into the database. Basically this method, let's do it static, and it's gonna determine whether the ticket is from the new ticketing system or old ticketing system. And we determine that based on the length of the segments. So we'll do is new, no, if I do is new ticket, that will be confusing. Is BHR ticket, and what do we accept? String ticket ID, right? And we return boolean, and now this method will return true if, actually let's grab it. So we can preg match, or we can explode and check the second element length. What would be, well, probably preg match would be more efficient, right? What does preg match return? It should preg match, and the return value is int or false. Search a subject for a match to the regular expression given in pattern. Subject matches flags, and where's the return description? Return value returns 1 if the pattern matches given subject, returns 0 if it does not. Okay, that's exactly what we want. So we want to return boolean value of preg match, and our pattern is, actually I can copy that pattern from here. This is our new ticketing pattern, right? So we got 3 4 3, yeah, and the old pattern is 3 3 4. Okay, and the subject is our ticket ID. Yes, that's subject, and matches, we don't need matches. Okay, so it'll return 0, so in this case false, if this is not a BHR ticket. Okay, so now we have a method of determining whether we're working with the new ticket or old ticket. So let's go to our payments controller, or payment controller. Custom doesn't matter, webhook doesn't matter, and process doesn't matter. Well, it will matter because we're also working on the ticket ID, so we want to get outstanding, whatever the outstanding total we wanna, yeah. But here we're fetching Hesk ticket, but that's not gonna be a Hesk ticket. Process checkout, we don't need that. Oh, that's in pages controller. Because it only displays the page, but other than displaying the page, it also... Oh, this is pages controller test. Pages controller. Success checkout, custom, this one. This is the problem we've had now, right? The return from fetch Hesk ticket needs to be instance, but this ticket doesn't exist. So first, yeah, that's why we don't even need to do the empty check over here. We should try and catch this one, and yeah. So let's do that since we're already here. And in case of exception, that's what we're gonna do here. So no more the condition. It's the exception now. There. So this will now fail gracefully. It did not. So looks like this exception is not catchable. Let's catch level B4. Unless I'm doing the wrong line of code. No, okay, invalid ticket ID. Okay, so we just needed to catch throwable instead of exception. Yeah. It's a level higher. The exception extends throwable, or implements throwable. I think throwable is an interface. Let's check that. It's an interface, yeah. So now we need to determine whether this is a BHR ticket or Hesk ticket. So is BHR ticket will be ticketing service is BHR ticket ID. So now, if it's BHR ticket, we need to fetch the BHR ticket. Otherwise, we need to fetch Hesk ticket. Right? We want to maintain backwards compatibility. Basically, the whole idea here is that we are building something alongside of existing system and slowly migrating functionalities over until the moment where our system is ready, and we just gonna get rid of the old system and remain on the new system. But during that transition, we need to be compatible with both. So in this case, we want this still to work because I still use it, right? It has to work because I use it on the daily basis, charging the customers for tickets that they created with Hesk. This system that is not deployed yet, so the customer cannot create the ticket in the new ticketing system. And even if the customer did, I wouldn't even know about that because we don't even have the emailing system yet. So How to do it without putting too much stuff over here? This will work, unpaid payment request, because we're just using ticket ID. So this should be fine. Let's see, what do we need the ticket for? We need it because it needs to have a status. Our ticket doesn't have a status. Our BHR ticket. I completely forgot. Yeah, we do need status on the ticket. So do we put it in the ticketing service or the ticket? Probably on the ticket. And let's do this. Public const status new will be 0, right? That'll be the default. Status. Let's see. So in Hesk we have statuses like replied and stuff, but they don't really tell me much. Because yeah, the ticket is either, so it's new, then it's replied, then it's awaiting reply again, then replied again, awaiting reply. So it's just kind of bouncing between these as you go back and forth with the customer, but at no point you have the option to say, well, this ticket is in progress now. So our first, ticket is new, then the status will change. The second step in the process, at least as far as it works in my shop, we're doing diagnosis, estimates, that kind of stuff. Diagnosis, we can rename it later, but that would be for the second status. Then estimation. Actually, let's do second status will be assigned. So that will be the 2, 1, then 2, then 3. So the status assigned, I imagine, is pretty much like status replied. Because first we need to find a technician to assign the ticket to, which is easy in my case because I'm the only technician. But you know, this is not only for me, not only for my needs. It's got to be roughly universal to great extent. Then we have estimation in progress. We're gonna add another status which will be called delay. So delay status will indicate that there is an issue and basically the repair will be delayed. Actually, okay, one more. I gotta stop numbering them because I keep adding more. And status. What is this status? This is when the customer shipped the item to us, right? So let's call it shipped. It's an optional status, right? Then received. Yeah, I want to have the status received. At the moment, what I do, I just write in the ticket ECM received or whatever, unit received. I want to have a status for that, and the reason I want to have a status is because once I receive it, I see this is this ticket, I can just click received and everything happens by itself. I don't have to actually write the customer saying, hey, I received your item. No, it's received. So that will be 3, that will be 4, 5, 6, 7 when there is a delay. Then our status I don't know, repaired or done or something like that. Let's call it done. 8. Shipped back. So that will be our last status. That means, oh, not our last status. We do need status. Resolved, right? Okay, so only our status resolved is what we need. Now, how are we gonna do the statuses? I'm not sure yet. Meaning, do we hydrate it via constructor or some other method of hydrating? Does it matter? It doesn't really matter. So let's do get status. Our status will be new. So this is hard coded. Oh, status. Okay, so we have a status. Oh, at least, sort of. Pages controller. So this is the only thing that we needed a ticket for. No, we also need subject and name. And luckily, on our ticket, we also have a subject and name. But not on our entity, not on our domain object. Our domain object has getters. You can't access name and subject directly. So we would have to kind of use the we can use the entity, the framework entity. So let's do this. We have storage service here and payment service. So we need to add ticketing service. And from our ticketing service, we're gonna fetch the so this if not BHR ticket, right, we do this. And we don't need Hesk ticket anymore because this will be the ticket. Yeah, but that's only if it's not BHR ticket. But if it is BHR ticket, our ticket will be from ticketing service fetch fetch ticket entity, not ticket. We want to return the entity so it's compatible. So it's gonna have a status and it's gonna have a subject and the name, because we need it here. There will also be a method to return the ticket domain object, but for now we just want to bhr ticket entity. Yes, that's what we return, and we want to get this database fetch table bhr tickets, find where our ticket ID, is that what it was called? bhr, oops, ticket, where's the bhr ticket model entity? Oh, that's not even added to my repository. Damn, that's not good. Yes, the ticket ID. Okay, our ticket ID needs to be our ticket ID, and we want to find first, yeah, and return this. So one-liner pretty much. Yeah, it's complaining that this returns the entity interface instead of actual bhr ticket, but it will, well, we can just do this, bhr ticket. Oops. Oh no, you can't do that. No, only with you can only do that with primitive styles in PHP 7. I'm not sure about further versions, but there's other ways to go around that. But this is just a annoying warning from the IDE saying that, well, maybe these are incompatible, or the return could be the interface. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so we have the ticket fetching. I can't believe I didn't have this. I gotta check all the other entities. They will not be auto-added, in my case, when you bake them in the terminal. I could have, there should be a tick box somewhere that will just add automatically everything that is new will be added automatically. I don't like that. I like to add everything manually. Consciously make the decisions, what is in the repo, what isn't. Okay, pages controller, we got the ticket. Now status resolved is 3. So this only happens if this is not bhr ticket, this validation, right? And for now, let's just do to-do validate ticket status for bhr ticket. Okay, and the rest should be the same. The rest should be the same. So now, let's see what's gonna happen. Let's fill this out and pay the bench fee and submit. Now, what are we gonna what is gonna fail now? Oh, nothing failed. All right. So looks like we picked up the issue description, we found the name, indeed $35, and we got the ticket number, everything that we need. If we click continue, oh, again, okay, so now the payment goes through payment controller, yes, and the process checkout, we don't care about that. Process, this is our stuff. So since we're here, we're probably gonna update these URLs because it always redirects to production, but here locally I'm working on the test server, so you know I can test the whole route, and I want to. So again, Hesk ticket is BHR ticket will be ticketing service is BHR ticket ID. If not BHR ticket, that's what we do. And let's rename it. Refactor rename and call it ticket. And did we not use ticket here? No. Okay. Ticket. Right? Because there's gonna be an email. Generate payment record, ticket ID. There you go. Probably, yeah, let's make sure we're not running any more validations over there. But before we get there, if is BHR ticket, our ticket will come from the ticketing service. Oops. Fetch ticket entity and ticket ID. Okay, so we have our data that we need. Now good. Now do we No, we don't run any validations over here. We're just creating the entity, saving it. That's all we're doing. Good. So now when I refresh this, it should work, and it should redirect me to the payment page. Okay. All right. Now the only thing is our URLs. Our env. Let me just do this here real quick. We are in a local. We have Hesk URLs, payment URL. Yeah. So we do have the payment URL, which will be payments.hesk.local. So we do have environment helper. Get Hesk URL, get payments URL. That's what's going to be returned. This. No trailing slash. So let's remember that. Is it with HTTPS and everything? Well, in this case it's HTTP. I gotta check in production if I got this done correctly too. So this is our base here, and this is our because that's cancel URL, so it'll be just this. Alright. And this. Okay, so now do we need to refresh here? We don't need to refresh here, because this takes us to the process payment action, which generates checkout session and and does all that. So again, card, sure, don't save my info, and pay. No, I don't need to store Visa. And we do have payment success. We're redirected to payment success for the ticket, and the same issue. This is new ticket and not old ticket. So let's go to where is that page actually? I don't even remember. Is it in Pages controller? Custom success there. So same thing. We got storage and we want to get ticketing service. And SBHR ticket. You'd think I would copy and paste that, but by now, since I'm doing it the third time, I never do. I never copy paste. Well, not never, sorry. Sometimes I do. But I'm a strong believer of, no, just keep, you want to get better, just keep doing it. If you start your journey of coding by copying and pasting code, you're not gonna go far. Or at least not quickly. You might go far, but it's gonna take a lot of time. So our ticketing service is BHR ticket, ticket ID. And the most bugs actually come from copy pasting. the most bugs, because if you write it yourself, you're not gonna mess it up. You still can, but it's a lot easier to not screw up if you just write each line instead of copy pasting it. So now I wanna rename this to the ticket. Same thing. Yeah. And now if our ticket is, oh, hang on, this is not, and this is yes. If it is, then our ticket is ticketing service fetch by ticket ID. And we have no way of viewing the ticket, right? So our link right now doesn't really matter. So if this is not BHR ticket, that's going to be our link. But if it is BHR ticket, our link will be different. For now, let's do HTTP. Actually, and let's replace this with environment. Hesk URL. There. And here we'll do environment helper get payments URL. And slash this ticket over here, this it will be, yeah, because we don't need the whole, because we are in the new system, right? Here we need the base URL, the full URL, because we're working from the other system, so we cannot use the router or just do slash and whatever. We redirect somewhere completely else. But here we are working within our system, right? So we don't need that base URL. Yeah, because we're not sending that. If we send that via email, we would require, yeah, but we're not going to be sending email from here because this page is accessible. I can just refresh, and if I do refresh, I would send the email again and again. So yeah, we don't want to. This is just a page to show the user you're all good. So this will come from the URL from the router, right? So this is not going to be literal. But for now, I imagine that it would look something like ticket slash ticket ID, and I don't know, maybe some token or some, because we don't want just anyone to view the tickets, right? So I'll figure something out over there. Yeah, I'll probably just put the pop-up box, which will ask you for your email, and if you provide the email, we'll just store the cookie, and then if you go to that URL from the same browser, it will never ask you for the email again. At least not for that ticket, because there's going to be a specific token for the that kind of stuff. So we'll see. This will be fun actually to secure that. Okay, so we have our different because the only thing that we need on this page is just to display the link. Follow this link to go back to your ticket. Yep. And thank you for your business. Ticket is now considered paid. Thank you for using blackhorserepairs, Ralph. The ticket is considered paid. Yeah, because that's how it was designed. But here we just put the bench fee, right? So it's not the ticket that it's paid. It's just the bench fee for that ticket is paid. All right. You didn't pay the shipping, and you didn't pay for the actual repair. If there was no repair, then yeah, that's pretty much done. But again, the shipping back, you didn't pay $25 for shipping. But that's pretty much it. I think it's working. Okay. And let's give it one more look. Let's fill the name, email, subject. Let's pay the bench fee. And so did I let's see, is it gonna give me $25? Let's see, because I don't remember working on the shipping. I mean, I do remember working on the shipping, and it looks like okay, so I got this done. Interesting. Why is it $60? Oh, right, because it's 35 plus 25, yeah. Because I just looked, how does 30 and 20 give you 60? But yeah, those fives. Okay, so one more time. Oops, I tried to be too fast. What? Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? And pay. No, thank you. Oh, hang on. There. Let's process my payment. There you go. And yeah, and we're done. Your ticket is submitted. Now all you gotta do is just send the item. Okay, so this is pretty much the whole process, right? Now we did forget about the statuses, so there's no status on the ticket. And as I said before, I don't want to add another migration now to add those columns. I want to modify the previous migration and clean the database and migrate the database again, deploy the schema again. So I will do that. And I guess our next step will be to two things. So one, we need to style the success pages. In this case, this success page, well, it's fine. It's okay. But the other, if you submit the ticket without paying the bench fee or shipping, you are redirected to the different page. And perhaps maybe we should have redirected you to the other page. Or maybe we should just redirect you over here. Yeah, success/ticket/ticket. Yeah. Oh no, because we are saying here that it's considered paid, right? Yeah, let's keep the separate, two separate pages, the confirmation pages or success pages for either paid ticket or free ticket. Because there might be significant differences in those pages. So let's keep them separate. For now, we still use the majority of elements. So even if they're very similar, they're just gonna share the same elements, and that's it. The second thing that we want to get done is ticket statuses and status validation. And once all that is done, we're jumping into the ticket preview page. So this link over here, which doesn't work, on which we allow the customer to write, to see what I wrote and write whatever they want to write, right? So I have an idea how to do that, and I can't wait to start working on it finally, because I'm curious if it's gonna be as good as it sounds in my head right now. It feels like it's gonna look pretty cool, and it's gonna be easier than what I have right now, or more user friendly. Also, we have crap load of statuses, so now I can just juggle the status, and that will trigger certain actions, mainly like emails and stuff. We do need to add comm service, which will allow us to send emails, text messages, and stuff like that. Oh, and one thing I forgot. Yeah, I was just thinking about it this morning. I forgot that some people also use phones. And we need to add a phone number over here, which will be optional. Yeah. I mean, it will be optional for me because I rarely communicate with my clients using the phone. But I understand some repair shops primarily rely on the phone communication. So we need to add that. I was just thinking about it, but that's fine. We're not gonna do it today. No worries. But yeah, we need to add the phone number, the ability to display the ticket, to respond to the ticket, and which means at some point we have to build an admin tool to actually manage those tickets, assign those tickets, and but to assign the tickets we need to build the users and stuff, right? We need to get the authentication and authorization done, because right now we are just relying on Hesk, right? To get to the admin of our system here now, you need to first log in to Hesk, and that will leave the cookie, and that cookie authorizes you to the new system. But we need to have that done as well. And it would be nice if you logged into the new system and be logged in Hesk, and vice versa, because vice versa it now works, but it would be nice if it worked in both directions. But I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about that yet. We'll see. And so the login screen and then all that stuff, all that can be baked by the framework, and most likely, yeah, I think most likely we're gonna do that the framework way, because that's gonna be a lot faster than me writing it from scratch. Not to mention, it's probably gonna be more secure if I just reuse the components rather than write it myself. Because who knows, I'll just introduce a bug and security vulnerability, and then I'll be sorry. There's not much sensitive data that I store in the system, but your name, address, phone number, email, this is relatively sensitive information. I wouldn't like that to be leaked, right? But I don't store credit card numbers or any financial information. All of that is stored in the what do you call it, in Stripe. Yes. So I do have access to that. If you pay me with your card, I see which bank are you banking with, usually your address, email, obviously, because you are required to put that email over there, which is all the information that I already have in the ticketing system. So it's not like I need it, but just to be aware, that data is stored, just not by my system. I do have access to that data, and if I used like some higher paid license or whatever, I can have also access to the geolocation data and the risk assessment data. So it's kind of like, I don't have it and I don't plan to have it, but that kind of sounds, you're paying for the service using the card, and suddenly I have something similar to your credit report. Right? Why would the merchant even have to have that information? It's not like we're giving loans or anything, right? You either can afford to pay for it or not. If not, then you're not sending anything. If you do send something and then you pay for it, why would I care about your risk assessment? Well, I guess it works for someone. Anyways, I think we're gonna finish the session here. I'm happy with the progress. We can pretty much at this point we could release this to the public, and it would have been absolute pain, because I would have to go through the database to find the tickets and all that stuff. So obviously we won't. But at this point, it is fully functional ticket storage system, right? So just few more things and we'll be able to actually use it. But I don't want to rush it too much. So let's get it done well, not quickly, right? Alrighty, fellas. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one.